alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the stallion that I like. Hair from Cali, I live in the valley. Then you look sexy. Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then
Yo! Yes, sir. It's official. Like a referee with a whistle. Like, share the video. We're going to do like we always do, man. We're going to talk that talk. And we're going to go out. And we're going to make it happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're going to do, man. That's how we do over here. We represent over here. We don't just talk a good game. We take action, bro. You know what I'm saying? So subscribe. If it's your first time being here, or maybe you forgot to subscribe, or maybe you forgot to click the little bell below. That way, if I upload a new video or come online, you never miss out. Hopefully, a lot of people have been telling me, man, I thought you quit doing videos, man. I haven't seen you in 2 years, 5 years. I've been, they shadow banned me for whatever reason. I don't know. But I have a pretty good idea. But it is what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? But hey, don't forget to check out the Love Can't Wait podcast. Well, I got a new episode up, and I did a interview today with somebody that's going to be up Wednesday of next week. So stay tuned for that. And if you live in Florida, Florida, especially northern Florida, hold it down out there, man. They had that hurricane out there in Florida. Hold it down. Only the strong survive. God damn it. Only the strong survive. I've been through a few hurricanes, a few of them in my lifetime. Because where I'm from is hurricane country. So I've been through a few of them. But, stay strong. God damn it. That's all I can tell you. And be patient. Stay strong and be patient. And times like that, when there's natural disasters and stuff like that, that's all you can do. Stay strong and be patient. And reach out to other people. Your neighbor, people down the block, people in your neighborhood, make sure everybody's good, And hopefully you got a generator. If you don't have a generator, go out and buy one. You might have to buy two. You know what I'm saying? If you in times like if you don't have no power, you don't got to go without power, man. You go buy a generator. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. The prices of generators have went down over the years. But go buy a generator, man. Walmart got some good ones. The Ace Hardware store, they got some good ones. Shit. Hey, man. Do what you got to do, man. You might have to drive next town over. to get supplies. You just never know. You gotta do what you got to do, man. But hopefully, most people don't prepare for hardships or situations like that. You know, but hey, pray for y'all out there, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're in Florida, you know. But hey, you know, no free lunch out here, man. You gotta sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. That's why I always say, man, there's a price to pay. There's a sacrifice that has to be made, you know, if you want to prosper and live a certain type of life. I always say that, you know, like a lot of guys, unfortunately, had bad role models growing up. I mean, guys, men and women. A lot of us had bad role models growing up, and a lot of us were dealt a bad hand off top. I'm talking like as soon as we came out our mother's womb, we were dealt a bad hand. And that's not your fault if you were dealt a bad hand. Unfortunately, we don't get to pick our parents. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes some of us were born in the struggle. And we didn't even have a fair shot when we came through our mother's womb. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have a fair shot, man. You know? But we had to do what we had to do until we was able, I guess, turn 18 and until we could leave the nest, like some people like to say, and figure this shit out. Because you probably knew deep down that shit ain't supposed to be this way. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be poor. We shouldn't be living like this. Maybe you got that feeling deep in your spirit at a young age. And you left the nest and you started hanging around the neighborhood down the block or the next town over, or maybe you had dreams and aspirations of doing something big in life, making a difference in life, or maybe you ran into somebody that saw something in you and maybe you didn't believe it in the beginning. But over time, you started to believe what that person saw in you. That person saw the light in you. He gave you a spark. The light was already in you, but they just ignited what was already in you in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And then you got out there and maybe you had to learn through trials and tribulations and through ups and downs and all of that. But you made it. You made it through the fire. You made it. You got past the smoke. And maybe you're still in that process. Maybe you're still in the trenches. Maybe you're still trying to figure shit out. Because there's no finish line. There's no mountaintop. Like some people like to say, hey, you get to the mountaintop and I made it. Nah. If you get to the mountaintop, and then what? What usually happens when people get to the mountaintop? When they say they made it. What usually happens, based on my experience, from what I've seen, people usually self-sabotage. Because once you get to the mountaintop, there's nothing else left to do. So there's no finish line. You're either growing or you're dying. That's it. there's no, and see, in this society, there's always, we live in a very competitive society. It can only be one and all this bullshit that we've been taught, and a lot of um, us guys, we really don't know what manhood looks like. A lot of us don't know how a man should act, how a man should go about conducting his business, because a lot of us we had hood rat moms. A lot of our moms are hood rats. Not my mom, but a lot of guys, their moms is hood rats, and a lot of us, we grew up looking at our moms, looking at how our moms operate and how our moms conduct business. And over time, when you get older, you realize that the way my mom operated, or maybe the way your mom operated, everything was a damn lie. I mean, everything was a lie. Everything, she was always scheming, had different guys coming in and out, but everything was a lie when you was growing up. It's like, damn. But you didn't know that when you were younger, because you were young. You didn't understand. But you saw your mom would probably saw, or maybe you heard your mom on the phone talking to different type of guys. And you thought that, hey, that's how you're supposed to operate. Maybe you heard your mom tell your dad or some other guy that she was going to show up to whatever party, graduation, any type of event, and she never showed up. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that do that today. They'll tell you, "Oh, I'm coming," and they never show up, and they know they're not going to show up. They didn't have no intention of showing up. And maybe you saw your mom operate just like that, and you grew up, you thought that shit was cool. Maybe you didn't think anything was wrong with it. You're like, hey, I just told him I was coming, but I really ain't going. You know what I'm saying? You probably think that way of basically you lying to people, But the problem with that is once first off, you become the liar, in the circle. They start calling you start nicknaming you, calling you the Lion King and all kind of shit, because you lie all the time. But that starts to you start to train yourself to be a liar if you keep lying all the goddamn time. That's the thing. And it's not really cool to be like that. It's not very manly to be a liar. Lying to women, you're lying to everybody. You lie to the people at work, you lie to the boss, you lie to your girlfriend, your wife, you lie to your kids if you got them, you lie to the parents. And you picked this up while you were growing up, because you've never been around no thorough man. A guy that was, that felt confident and liked who he was when he looked in the mirror. You never really seen a guy that had a family, wife, kids, house, whatever, business, investments. You probably never, when you were growing up, you probably never seen a guy, met a guy that was like that. Man, you might have seen a guy with kids. That ain't no family. You just happen to be a guy with kids. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you one of those guys that you never really been around a guy that was thorough. A guy that was well respected on your block or in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? You was around the guys that were lame, the guys that people didn't respect. that other guys didn't respect. You know, yeah, he might get a little pussy, but that don't mean he's well respected. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, look, women give guys pussy all the time and don't respect them. It's not that ain't nothing new. That shit been going on. You know what I'm saying? But those are the guys you've been around, and that's probably if I had to guess, that's probably the majority of guys. You know, the I would say the guys that are well respected are far and few in between. Really, you know, it's like you probably didn't have good role models growing up. You thought you did, but you really didn't. Just because a guy makes a good living and got a nice car and a nice crib, decent paying job, that don't really mean much. That don't make him a man. That don't make him even a respectable man in most people's eyes. Maybe some women, you know, in their eyes, if she's shallow and really don't know who she is, she might try to respect him, you know, only because he's a good provider or something like that, or got a good job. But eventually she'll fall out and start to disrespect him because in her spirit as a woman, she's going to realize that there's something missing. And she's going to realize that she ain't really attracted to that guy. Now, she might be initially, maybe she was attracted to the materialism. Maybe she liked the cars and the clothes and getting gifts and all that stuff. But eventually that shit get old after a while. And that don't really turn most women on. It might keep them around. That don't really turn them on. That don't get their panties wet. You know? So eventually she falls out with that guy just because he's being a good provider. Great. That's a good start. That's what you're supposed to be doing anyway for yourself, even before a woman comes into your life. But that's not gonna last long. That only goes but so far. You can't, that don't hold much weight. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we don't really know what happens behind the scenes with these guys. We only see what's on the surface. That's surface level thinking. But we don't really know who this guy is at home. You know what I'm saying? You got to see past the cars, the jewelry, the clothes, the nice crib, you know. Got to see what the guy is really made of. That's when you will find out if he's a man. You know, I mean, that's what it really comes down to. But a lot of us didn't see that when we was growing up. We had bad role models. Now, luckily, I had good role models growing up. You know what I'm saying? My uncles, most of them are still living. My parents, they're gone. You know, but the guys I grew up around, they were some tough motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? They were some tough motherfuckers, man. My uncles, they're some tough motherfuckers, man. You know? And if I compare my uncles to the guys today, or even if I compare my uncles to me, I'm soft compared to my uncles. I'm soft compared to my uncles. I'm not who they are. Yeah, we're from the same tree, but I'm not as tough as them. You know, it just is what I know who I am. You know, maybe I'll get there one day, but at the moment, I'm not like my dad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like my uncles. You know, not even close. I was being real. You know, and I had good role models, and I'm still not as good as my dad. I'm not the man as my dad was. I ain't, you know, it is what it is, you know. So I can imagine how it would be if I had bad role models, I can only imagine. I'd probably be lost out here. I'd probably be trying to figure out who I am in the 40s or 50s, which is crazy to think. How the hell can anybody not know who they are in the 50s, 40s, or 60s? Oh, there's a bunch of people out here that's like that. I would guess that most people don't really know who they are. By the time they figure out, they probably old. And most people don't like what they see when they look in the mirror. We know this. This doesn't take a genius to figure this shit out. This is why a lot of relationships fail, because you got one person don't know who they are, and then you got the other person trying to please the other person. So the shit crash and burn in most cases. It's damn near impossible to sustain any long-term relationship with somebody they don't like who they are. What you think about her, that don't matter. What she think about herself, now we're talking. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna last for a long time. It can last for a long time. It should last for a long time. It's supposed to last for a long time. I mean, how she feels about herself is much more impactful than how you feel about her. You know what I'm saying? You can, you can try to build her up. That's cool. But sometimes that can be a battle. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're trying to build her up and she's kind of rejecting your ideas about her, well, that's going to be an uphill battle. She going to be thinking you full of shit. And a lot of times, a lot of women, the lies work better than the truth, because especially in this day and time, the truth today, some people will say it's toxic, or what else they be saying? They say it's toxic, and you just don't like women. I'm like, no, I try to be honest and give my honest opinion. So if you tell the truth, I would say to most people today, they would think that something's wrong with you. But I always say, love ain't lies. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't care about you, first off, I wouldn't even say anything. I wouldn't even lie to you. I just be quiet. And being quiet, that's not good either. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect that. I want somebody to tell me the truth. I want their honest opinion. If I ask a question, I want to hear what you think. I don't want things sugar-coated either. Because when I was growing up, nobody sugar-coated anything to me. My parents never sugar-coated anything. I remember one time I was I played basketball growing up, right? And I think I was on I never got in the game though. I was on the bench for one game, and I quit altogether because I was never going to play. So I think I asked my mom if she was coming to the game, and she's like, "What for? You ain't playing. You're on the bench." That was cold, man. That was cold. But this who raised me. They like, what the hell we coming to see you for? You ain't playing. But that's who raised me. They My parents always looked at it like this. We have to prepare you at home because we know what's out there. So if you can't take what's going on at home, you ain't gonna be able to take what's going on outside the house. That's what my parents that was their philosophy. They were preparing me and raising me and instilling the values, tactics, strategies, way of thinking, before I left the house, before I turned 18, because they knew what was out there. Now, I didn't know what was out there because I'm a kid. I don't know. But, I mean, they told me some things, but telling is one thing, but seeing and experiencing is another thing. It's easy to tell somebody what they're going to probably run into, but experiencing it, that's another thing, So, a lot of us, we didn't really had all the right tools when we were growing up. A lot of us had to learn the hard way, and the hard way is not necessarily the best way. Like some of us at some point, and probably even still to this day, we really didn't have no call being in a relationship. But really, most of us really should have never been in a relationship in the first place. Most of us shouldn't even been married. We shouldn't have even gotten married in the 20s. It was just too early. You were too young, too inexperienced. You really don't know nothing about life. You really don't know who you are. You're still trying to figure out. Too many things in your 20s. We should have never got married in the first place. Now, some people do figure it out while they're married, living together and everything. But I'm not going to say that's the easiest way. Some people figure it out and they stick it out or whatever. And that's great. But everybody can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Some people get a divorce from the first wife and get married to the second wife. And some women, same thing, get married, did a divorce, and get married to the second husband. That happens a lot. By the time they get married the second time, they late 30s, early 40s on average. It happens. It's happening right now. There's somebody getting a divorce right now. Well, probably not right now, but somebody got a divorce today. You know what I'm saying? In North America. And this person in 2 to 5 years, they're going to get married again. Man and woman. To somebody. Somewhere. Because some people they don't want to be single. Some people want a family. They believe in family, the family structure, the whole idea of family. Some people believe in that shit. Some people don't want to be out in the street. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people don't want to date. Go on multiple dates with multiple people and get on the internet and go on Match.com and Plenty of Fish. Some people don't want to do none of that shit. Some people would prefer to get hooked up or introduced to somebody. And that's cool too. Whatever works for you to help you meet the person you want. And hopefully you'll be happy. There's nothing wrong with that. I know most women they get divorced the first time. On average, 2 years, they'll be married again. Yeah. If they get past that 5-year mark, It usually don't happen if they get past that 5-year mark. You know what I'm saying? If they get past that 5-year mark, it usually takes a while for them to get married a second time, if it's going to happen. But in most cases, 2 years after the divorce, they'll be married again. That's what I've been seeing, since, I don't know, past 30 years, I would say. That's what I've been seeing. That's what I've been witnessing. And this is a lot of people from East Coast, West Coast, North, South, even overseas. That's usually how that goes. Now when it comes to the guys, it varies when it comes to the guys. A lot of guys, it usually takes a little bit longer, on average, because a lot of guys have baggage. And a lot of guys are hurt too. That's another thing that a lot of guys don't talk about. When them guys are getting divorced, they hurt, boy. I mean, they hurt. Some guys, man, never recover from that divorce. They never recover from the divorce. I'm talking like mentally. I'm talking like guys are hurt. Now, a lot of women, they tend to move on and, they tend to move on or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of guys, we put so much into it, and we love hard and different. A lot of guys, we put our soul, we put everything into it. And if it doesn't work out, a lot of guys will fall into depression. A lot of guys will it'll take a lot out of them. You know what I'm saying? But they don't talk about it though. That's the thing. A lot of guys are hurt, boy, when it comes to divorce. And it's not just money. The money is that's probably the least thing that a lot of guys worry about after the divorce. They don't really worry about that. They're like, well, I'll pay the money, but it's just the idea of getting divorced. Then a lot of them are kind of embarrassed. Maybe they circle of friends probably look at them a certain type of way. Embarrassed because of the parents. So there's going to be multiple things, and the kids suffer. If they got kids, the kids are going to suffer. The kids usually take it hard. So that's something that a lot of guys think about. Women, for the most part, today, women don't really think about the impact of what divorce might do to the kids today. They don't really. I hear a lot of women say shit like, start talking about their lifestyle, and I'm like, what? A lot of women today talk about everything but family. I mean, if you sit back and listen, she ain't talking about nothing. She never mentioned anything about family. It's all about lifestyle and taking a trip and all the shit that you can't really sustain a family like that. Most of the stuff that a lot of women are talking about. And see, a lot of women had hood rat moms. A lot of these hood rats are my age. And they had kids. A lot of them are my age or a little older, like 50s. They had kids. Their kids in the 20s. Some of them 30s. You know what I'm saying? I know some people that are in the 50s. They got kids that's in the 20s and 30s. And they're divorced. And their mom were hood rats. And they grew up looking at that hood rat mom of theirs. Everything, their moms, their whole entire life was based on a lie. Everything about the mom everything was a lie. It's all about scheming, scamming, lying, you know. So that's what they saw growing up. So they didn't have a good role model. I mean, you can say, well, you learn from grandma. Well, grandma was old already. Grandma was old already. She was at home. You know, all grandma did was hang with grandpa. You know what I'm saying? So ain't but so much grandma can tell you. Really. Grandma couldn't tell you how to date. They didn't really go nowhere like that when she was younger. Grandma probably grew up in the 30s and 40s and 50s or 20s. Well, women were home back then, especially if they lived in the South. You know, women didn't go to a restaurant and go on vacation and go partying. Shit, no. Not back then. Hell no. Before the 60s, it was dangerous for women to leave the house by themselves. In most of these towns in the South. And up north too. Up north ain't. A lot of people think up north is somehow better than being in the South. Hell no. Especially back then. No. If you go ask your parents how it was in the 50s and 60s and 40s, or your grandparents how it was if they lived up north or down south or in the Midwest. Ask them how it was. Ask them if they had all this free time and they were going to the parties and shit. No. Grandma gonna be like, yeah, y'all got all kind of freedom. We didn't even have a car in the 30s and 40s. We couldn't afford that shit. We had a horse. Shit. Only people that had cars, they had money. You had to have money to have cars back then. Today, you can get a car easy peasy. You can get a car with no money down today, depending on your credit. You know, we can have bad credit and pay no money down today, depending on what dealership you go to, and if they desperate to make a sale, if you go to the dealership at the right time, this is a good time. Well, no, next month is a good time to go to these dealerships because this is the last quarter, so they desperate to make a sale. You know, try to go to the salesman that's smoking the cigarettes on the car lot. The salesman that's smoking the cigarettes on the car lot, he don't know when he gonna make his next sale, so he's stressing. That's who you go to. Walk up to him on the car lot. He desperate, boy. His money is low. Yeah, you know. But yeah, you can get a car, no money down. Shit. And they'll even let you take the car home over the weekend. If they think you're serious about buying, you can take the car home, leave your car on the parking lot of the dealership and everything. Pick it up Friday and bring it back Monday after work. And when you take it back after work, they'll be trying their best to get you in that damn car. They gonna get you in that car. Shit, there's no way in hell. We struggling out here. They gonna get you in that car. You know what I'm saying? But you couldn't do that back then. You couldn't finance no car back then. You had to have cash. Or if you were a mechanic and you work on cars, you could, I guess, put a car together, build a car from scratch. People did that. But you couldn't finance a lot of shit back in the day. You could do seller finance, meaning if somebody has something that you want to buy, let's say you want to buy a car or let's say you want to buy a house, right? And you can't finance. You don't have cash. The owner of the house can set up monthly payments for you. You can do that. You can still do that to this day. You can do that today. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they were doing back then. I would say the majority of people did that back in the day. Seller finance. You know, like they use car lots to do that today. They'll say, oh, we're finance on the lot finance. Yeah. So, you know, there's people that do that today. They don't go through no banks. You know what I'm saying? That used to happen all the time back in the day. People still do it today, but it ain't nothing new. They've been doing that shit. You know? So, especially if you have bad credit today. If you go through a used car lot, they'll finance you on the spot if they think you're serious. You know, they give you monthly payments or whatever. But you can't get behind on the payments, though. You can't get behind. If you get behind one day, repo. Or they be calling your ass. You know, it'd be like that. They're strict, you know. But yeah, you know, that's how it is, man. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do until you can do better. But there's all types of ways to do things, man. But there's no free lunch out here, man. There's no free lunch. If you want to get ahead in life and live a better quality of life and create more opportunities and be free, you're going to have to take smart risks. You're going to have to take smart risks. You have to do something different. You're going to have to acquire what some people call a high-paying skill set. You know, a high-paying skill set. And you're gonna have to use that high-paying skill set to maneuver and help you create more freedom for yourself. And you're gonna use that skill set to attain assets that make you money every month, every 60 days, every 90 days, however it come in, every week. It don't even matter as long as it come in. You know what I'm saying? That's what you have to do, man. But if you don't do that, you're gonna always be behind the 8 ball. You're gonna always be wondering or thinking, what if I would have done this? What if I'd have done that? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, you might be by yourself in the beginning because a lot of people ain't going to believe in you. And what it is, a lot of times they're projecting. A lot of times, the reason why they don't believe in you, because they don't believe in themselves. Yeah, they don't believe in themselves. So don't take it serious. Now, a lot of times, a lot of people can't see the vision. So sometimes, I would say most of the time, you got to get it started. You got to move forward. You got to keep, regardless of what people are saying, you got to keep moving forward. If they choose to come, cool. You know, but here's something that you have to be aware of. There's some of those people that didn't believe you in the beginning, didn't believe in you in the beginning. Some of them, at least one of them, is going to sabotage, or at least try to sabotage, what you have going on. Now, they're not aware of this. They don't think that they're going to sabotage, or at least try to sabotage what you have going on. Even if you tell them, they'll be like, man, I would never do a thing like that, man. You tripping, man. They will. Trust me. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it from men and women. And if you cannot have a woman around you that's like this. You cannot have a woman around you that don't believe in you, that don't support you. Don't have no woman around you that she got one foot in, one foot out. She say negative shit all the time. She ain't trying to help you move forward with what you got going on. Even after you told her, you showed her the roadmap, and she ain't trying to support you, you're going to have to get rid of her. You have to get rid of her because she is going to sabotage what you got once you attain it. Whatever success means to you, whatever that thing is to you, once you get to a certain point, she's going to sabotage it. And the people, and you always keep this in mind, there's sharks out here, there's snakes out here, and they can see somebody like her a mile away. Whatever you got, you have to maintain it. You have to swim with the sharks without being eaten. And you can't afford to have no weak people around you. See, the sharks know who's weak in your circle. They can see it a mile away. They're like, okay, we can get to him through her. She's weak. She ain't really down with him like that. We can use her to get to him. They can see it. Maybe she can't see it. She might say, oh man, I would never say nothing to people like that. I would never do nothing like that. Bullshit. Bullshit. How many, look, the prison is full with women, hood rats that ran their damn mouth. That started running their mouth, saying stuff that they shouldn't have been saying. The jails is full with guys that went to jail because people ran their goddamn mouth. Because they had somebody in their circle that was weak. Somebody in their circle that wasn't really down with them. But see, a lot of us guys, we think, okay, we'll work it out. It's going to get better. Bullshit. That shit ain't going to get better, bro. You got to get rid of that. You have to get rid of her. No. She might say one thing one day. Even if you try to work it out with her, it might be all right for a week or two. She'll revert back to who she is because that's who she is. That's who she is. You can't change nobody. You can't motivate nobody to do anything. That comes from inside. Because a lot of us guys, we try to hold on because we don't want to start all over again. Damn that. Shit. You're gonna have to start all over again if you keep her around because she's gonna sabotage every goddamn thing. So you're going to start all over again anyway if you keep her around because she's going to sabotage because that's who she is. She's a cancer in your life, like poison, you know? But see, a lot of us didn't really have nobody around when we were growing up to tell us this. Some of us had to learn the hard way. you know, and a lot of us guys, we really don't know what type of woman we should be with. We like what we see, but what we see ain't always good for us. We think it's good for us because she's attractive, and that makes us tingle inside. So we just assume that, hey, she's wifey for lifey. No. Just because she look good, smell good, taste good, fuck good, that don't mean you should move her in and get married to her. No. See, we get caught up in the looks, how a woman look more than any goddamn thing. If she look good and the sex good, hey, that's all we want. No.
No.
No, it takes more than just sex and good looks. What's her? Do she believe in a family? Did she come from a good family? Do she want kids? Do she even like kids? Is she motherly material? You know, what's her morals like? Her values like? What's her relationship with her mom like? Her dad like? Because them good looks, that shit gonna get old after a couple years. After a couple years, she gonna be just another girl that you just happen to be attracted to. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Just another. I don't care how good she looked. She'd be a 9, 8, 10, whatever. Over time, she's gonna be just another girl that you happen to be attracted to. You gotta look deep before you leap. You know, once you get past the looks, you gotta look at her for what she really is. You know what I'm saying? And there ain't nobody perfect. Ain't no woman perfect, no man perfect. But you gotta look at her for what she is, and you be like, okay, I can work with this. I can't work with that. You know what I'm saying? She might be nasty. I can't stand a nasty bitch. You know, I can't now. I can't work with a nasty woman. I can't do that. That's like the one thing I can't work with. No, I can't do that. No. No. I ain't no neat freak, but I can't do the nastiness. You know, maybe you might not like a woman that smokes cigarettes. I mean, I don't particularly like that either. You know, I don't particularly like the woman that smokes cigarettes either. You know, she might, check this out. I got one for you. She might want to be in an open relationship. You don't. See, that's a conflict of interest right there. You believe in a traditional relationship. She wants to be in an open relationship. So how's that going to work? How that going to work? You know? How that going to work?
She belongs to the streets.
I don't know. I don't think you'd be able to work that out. That's two different philosophies when it comes to relationship. I don't know. You know, and check this out. What if she like men and women? So what then? Are you cool with having another woman in your bed? You might get turned on by that. She might say, hey, every once in a while, of course, we're going to vet the women. I want to bring a woman back home for us. You might be cool with that. I don't know. It's up to you. It's not a right or wrong type thing. It's only what works for you and her. You know? Now, you might be the type that say, hey, I want my kids to be raised at home. I don't want to put my kids in daycare, right? She might be the type, she wants to work a job. She don't want to stay home. She wants to put the kids in daycare. You don't want to put your kids in daycare. So what do? How do you work that out? These are some stuff you have to work out before you move her in and get married to her. And check this out. I got another one for you. Maybe she would rather adopt kids versus get pregnant and have kids. Maybe you don't want to adopt. I wouldn't either. You know what I'm saying? But she don't want to have kids on her own. She'd rather adopt. I met some women that were like that. That's some weirdo shit. But you know.
No.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, but hey, there's women out here that think like that, man. That think like this. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it has to do with how they were raised. You know? But you have to be honest. You know? You don't lie. You know, hey, look, the truth hurts most of the time. The truth hurts most of the time. But I'd rather hear the truth than a lie any day. I rather, the truth is hard. It hurts sometimes. I'll say most of the time. But I don't want to run from it. I don't want people to be lying to me all the time. I don't really respect that. You know? And I talk about a lot of this stuff in my book, Boss Life Secrets, which can be found on Amazon.com. You know what I'm saying? Boss Life Secrets and Love Can't Wait. I talk about a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just go get the 2 books, man. Boss Life Secrets and Love Can't Wait. The cover of my book, Boss Life Secrets, is right behind me. You know what I'm saying? That's the big poster right there, right behind me. You can see it. Hopefully you'll be able to see it, with a little bit of light flashing in the background. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I talk about this stuff all the time, man. And in my Patreon, same thing. I do videos and audios talking about a lot of different scenarios when it comes to men and women in relationships and all that good stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I'm going to check the comments now. Let's see. Hey, Donna. Well, Donna's probably gone. Probably went to the club. God damn it. I know what it is. Listen, some people shame people for feeling that way. More men getting shamed, the ones that are doing the shaming. Misery likes company. Stay away from them. Let's see, owner financing sounds like these foreign women looking for a spot in your house. That's funny. Use car lots, put a tracker in the computer of the car. They can shut down the car if you miss a payment. Yeah, hell yeah. They started doing that a couple years ago. I think they started doing that with rental cars first, and then they went to cars on the dealership. But yeah, you're right, man. A woman like that is only for drama. She enjoyed destruction to the point she cannot be happy for you because she can't do anything for herself. So it's better to watch someone else fall. Yeah, you just watch this, you know. I think the old saying goes, this is straight dope. Yeah. I think somebody had a saying, this guy is the best friend you ever had. I think somebody told me something, is a saying that somebody came up with. Somebody told me this shit. I can't, let me see if I can remember. It said, oh, I got it. I think I might have write it down. It said, let's see. I think I might have it. Let's see. I think I might have wrote it down, man. So let me see if I can find it real quick. It says, it's an old saying that I never forgot about. He said, let me see. He says, let me see. It says, listen with your eyes and you see everything you need to hear. Boom, yeah. Listen with your eyes and you see everything you need to hear. Boom. The problem is if she is a dime, most guys would get rid of her. Why? Because they can't imagine finding another dime. It's almost a form of self-hatred, not wanting to let someone loose due to their body. Yeah, that definitely happens. Don't overlook her history. Yep, 100%. You don't have to do a values clarification with people, both men and women. Well, I mean, all you gotta do is just get to know her, and you know her values. Eventually, you get a feel of her parents, her family, where she came from, how she was raised, and that's going to show you her values right there. What she believe in is religion important to her. You know, her whole way of thinking is going to show you her values and morals. Really, you know. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put the link in here. You know, anyone wants to come on, just jump in, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the link in here. Boom. Just like that. So yeah, I heard I talk about a lot of this stuff in my book, man. You know, it's like there's no free lunch out here, man. You know. And no one's coming to save you. That's what I learned when I was in my late 20s. No one was coming to save me, man. I had to figure all this shit out on my own. And of course I met people along the way. Um, but I paid to get in certain circles, you know, because I wanted to cut the learning curve and I wanted access. You know, so sometimes, man, you don't have to go at it alone. You don't have to be by yourself, you know. I'm gonna say most of the time I was by myself. But that was a mistake, you know. That was a mistake. Will you offer an affiliate link to your material? Um, no, I don't have no affiliate link. Well, if anything, I got just go to sharpgame.net. If if it's probably if you want to share it, go to sharpgame.net. You know? Yeah. SharpGame.net. You know. Yeah. If you want to share my stuff, go to SharpGame.net. That's probably the best link I could give you as far as affiliate link goes. You know. But yeah, man, mistake that I made in the beginning when I was younger is I didn't fellowship enough. I didn't reach out to people. I didn't reach out to people that's been there and done that. People that's been where I wanted to be, or people that accomplished things that I wanted to accomplish. I waited. I went years. I went what? Probably 10, 15 years trying to figure out things by myself without consulting or reaching out to people, you know. And that was a mistake. If I would have reached out to somebody in the beginning when I was trying to figure out all the problems that I had, I would have cut my learning curve in half at the time. But I didn't know. I didn't know any better. You know, I just didn't know any better. And that's the mistake that a lot of guys are still making to this day. And that's the same mistake that I made. And probably the worst thing is I was away from home. I was away from home at the time too. I was in another country. I was in Japan for like over 3 years. And then when I got out, when I left Japan, I was like, what, 4 hours away from home, you know? So, and another thing, your parents can only tell you things based on what they've experienced. And, I'm from a small town, you know, my parents, they only know small town shit. They never lived in a big city. So they really couldn't tell me they couldn't give me big city advice. They haven't lived in a big city. And that makes sense, you know? Reaching out is easier now, brother, because of the internet. Exactly. Exactly. You're right. It is easier. I think 2005. This is during the MySpace days. That's when I first came online, 2005, during the MySpace days. That's how long I've been online. It's like 2005, during the MySpace days. So that's how I started reaching out to people in the beginning. That's exactly how. And then Facebook. The first account. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not true. The first account I had was Black Planet. Black Planet. Yeah, Black Planet. And then MySpace. And then Facebook. And then YouTube. Yep. But there was some time in between those sites that when I registered, though. It wasn't like back to back. I think by the time I got my first YouTube account 2006. My first YouTube account. But they deleted that shit a long time ago. I've had a few YouTube accounts. Quite a few. Most of them they deleted it. I don't know why. This is the latest YouTube account. Well, no. I got a new real estate account, real estate channel. I just started 2 weeks ago. But besides that, this is probably the longest YouTube channel I've had since coming on YouTube. You know, yeah. So, you know, it's been my experience, man. You know, now the way YouTube is today, it wasn't like that 2006. Wasn't like it is today. There wasn't a lot of people on YouTube like that, like it is today. 2006, I remember this like it was yesterday. If you told somebody you was on YouTube, MySpace, they would say you a scam artist or weirdo, right? If you told somebody that you were on Facebook, they would say you fucking with the college kids. Cause that was for college kids, you know. Yeah, I remember that. Like your other channel. Hold up. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Let me see. Let's see if I think it's let me see if I pull it up real quick. I haven't yeah, let me see. Hey, give me a second. I'm gonna try to pull it up. I gotta get the link. I haven't actually I haven't shared it yet. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. I have not shared my real estate channel with anybody yet. So this is the first time me sharing it with anybody really. You know. So yeah, plus I only have one video on here. So yeah, here's my real estate channel. Let's see. Here's the link. I'll put it in here. There you go. Yeah. Yep, that's it. Yeah, that's it. You know. So man, that's about all I got, man. That's about all I have to say, man. You know. Hopefully, you got my point. You know, understood where I was coming from. You know. Because there's no free lunch out here, man. If you don't, and no one's coming to save you. Now there's people around that's willing to help you, but if you don't do something to upgrade yourself, you're gonna have to take smart risks, calculated risks. If you don't do it, nobody else is gonna do it. Your woman is not gonna do it. Your mama's not gonna do it. Your daddy's not gonna do it. Nobody's gonna do it. There's people that's willing to help you out. That's why I said dreams come with a price and love ain't lies. You know? That's what it is, man. You know? Dreams come with a price and love ain't lies, man. You know? And that's just how it is, man. And once you come to that realization, And once you take full responsibility for your life, because it's your life, you know what I'm saying? Now, was everything your fault that happened to you in your life? No. You didn't raise yourself, but once you take full responsibility for your life, that's going to empower you to do whatever it takes for things to get better. And you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. Whatever that is, you have to do whatever it takes. No holds barred. You know? Nobody else is going to do it. Nobody is ever going to care about your life as much as you do. Yes, sir. So, hey, like, share this episode. Check out my Patreon. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.